evening. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, June 14th, 2017. Welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories, translated into English every weeknight. 10 months after being approved in Parliament and after continuous battles in the Constitutional Court, the vetting law has started its implementation. The ad hoc commission of 6 members elected the 9 candidates who will be part of the Appellate College, one of the 3 institutions that will conduct the vetting process of Albanian judges and prosecutors. The 6 members of the commission elected are Ardian Haidari, Natasha Mulaj, Sokol Chomo, Ina Rama, Luan Daci, and Albana Shtula, whereas the 7th winning judge of the Appellate College chosen by lot was Rizarta Schutz. The members were elected in the presence of the U.S. and EU ambassadors Donald Lu and Romana Vlahutin, as well as representatives of international missions who have actively engaged in the process of justice reform in Albania. The work of this ad hoc commission has finished with the selection of members of the Appellate College. Another parliamentary ad hoc commission with 12 members will elect 12 members of Independent Commission of Qualifications, and also 2 substitute members and public commissioners. After including this procedure, both lists with the elected members will be approved in Parliament with a qualified majority, 3 out of 5 of the votes of all members of Parliament. The State Supreme Audit has filed 718 lawsuits against state institutions for corruption and financial fraud in the period of time of 4 years, from 2012 until 2016. Participating in the regional conference, the head of the State Supreme Audit, Bujar Leskaj, declared that the damage caused to the state budget by these violations is calculated to be 191 billion lek, stating, "We have filed 219 lawsuits for 718 people. So in 5 years, we have addressed a lawsuit per week, or a lawsuit for every 3 auditing. The number of lawsuits is 1.5 times higher in the last 10 years. The economic damage found for 2012 to 2016 reaches 191 billion lek. Mr. Leskaj said that a country that aspires to EU integration should have a national effective strategy against corruption in the state institutions, saying, "Putting those responsible for corruption will create a preventing climate to abuses. The reality in Albania shows that despite the outside reasons, we have not been successful in this regard." The statement was made during a regional conference with the experts of the field, where the role of the auditing institutions was emphasized and also their efforts to discover corruption and financial fraud in state institutions. The Coalition of Local Observers has published its initiative for the complete monitoring of parliamentary elections. The coalition has engaged in 60 long-term observers and 1,500 short-term observers for the election day. Monitoring the complete process of elections started from the preparation of elections until the election day, and the counting of votes will be on focus of the Coalition of Local Observers. A report will be prepared with the results of the monitoring process. The chairman of the Central Election Commission, Clemens Guri, was also present at the meeting. He appealed to the civil society, citizens, and politics to guarantee standards on June 25th. "This is the time to testify that Albania can hold elections with democratic standards through civil and social dedication," said the CEC chairman. Coalition of Local Observers called on citizens to participate in the June 25th elections and express their free will. Prime Minister Edi Rama, accompanied by Tirana's mayor and socialist MPs Pandeli Majko and Samir Tahiri, inspected the work at Administrative Unit No. 5 after the investments made by the City Hall. The Prime Minister praised the transformation made at the area and gave assurance that the investments will be quadrupled if the citizens vote for the Socialist Party. The mayor asked the residents of the area to vote for the Socialist Party in order to continue with the works done in Tirana. Democratic Party Chairman Lulzim Basha has held a meeting with the citizens of Klos. After listening to their problems, the DP chairman presented them with a program of the Democratic Party, declaring, "Our focus is on economy and reduction of taxes. We will not invent anything, but we will take the model that is functioning in the European Union. If the program has functioned in the EU, it will work even in Albania. We will reduce taxes and increase pensions, which mean an increase of consumption." The DP chairman promised a reduction of the tax on oil, which according to him will also reduce the oil price. Meanwhile, during a meeting with the miners of Bulchiza, the DP chairman promised better work conditions for the miners. During his meetings with small business owners, the DP chairman emphasized that the Democratic Party's economic plan will take the economy out of the crisis and will open many jobs. The DP chairman accused the Prime Minister of failing to keep his promises during the 4 years of his governance. Representatives of the Socialist Movement for Integration held a meeting with the ambassadors of the EU countries, representatives of the OSCE mission, and of the US Embassy about the situation before elections. The vice chairman of the Socialist Movement for Integration, Luan Rama, gave a press conference where he declared that it was an informative meeting about the activity of the task force and the use of the state police officers and criminal groups in elections. The vice SMI chairman considered the action of the task force to be arbitrary and in violation of the law and accused the state police of paving the way to criminal groups to be involved in elections, stating that some representatives of the Socialist Movement for Integration held a meeting with the accredited ambassadors in Tehran. The object of the meeting was to inform the ambassadors about the political situation in the country, electoral developments, stopping at the most dominant events. First, we informed them about the arbitrary and illegal actions of the task force, which is pressuring the public administration. Secondly, we informed them about the political misuse of the state police structures in objection with the law. State police has left out its focus on the criminal groups and people with criminal records in order to use them as a part of their political staff. Thirdly, we discussed the recent decision of the Central Election Commission for the third vote counter. According to the Constitution and the Electoral Code, the third vote counter should have been from the SMI. The Vice SMI Chairman added, "The political situation does not discourage the SMI to be the first political force in the June 25th elections." In continuation of the electoral reform, the chairman of the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity, Shpatim Edrizi, held a meeting with some of the citizens of Tehran. Expressing his conviction that the Cham issue will prevail over other interests, the PJIU chairman asked for the citizens' vote for the PJIU. Mr. Edrizi declared that the Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity is increasing every day, and according to him, this is frightening the other parties. The Party for Justice, Integrity and Unity is a special case as it is increasing every day. We are the party that loves the country, and this is the reason why the PJIU has increased. Our cause is the cause of every Albanian, said Edrizi, adding that the main cause of the PJIU is the Cham issue. Chamaria is the cause of the Albanians and our joint battle. Even though we have been continuously attacked because of our force, we are a party that is strengthened and significantly increased. The chairman of the PJIU said that no one is interested in programs in this campaign and that the party leaders are more interested in who has the best statement. The Socialist Movement for Integration's main candidate in the city of Durrës, Lefter Koka, has commented on the cannabis situation in the country, saying that the SMI has not stayed silent in front of this phenomenon during the governance with the Socialist Party. Mr. Koka declared that the only mistake the Socialist Movement for Integration made was giving to Edi Rama the chance to become Prime Minister in 2013, saying, "Which was our sin, denouncing that cannabis was planted all over Albania? If we were silent, the moral responsibility would be greater. So today, with our heads up, we can say that we are not and we were not silent to bad governing of the country." Mr. Koka continued, accusing the Socialist Party and the Democratic Party of not having a concrete program for the coming 4 years. Mr. Koka invited the citizens of Durrës to vote for the Socialist Movement for Integration, for more jobs and well-being. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again, Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Cosmo K, and on behalf of War News, thank you and good night.